Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is find Twine. So I'm just doing a quick Google search for Twine and I'll come up with this, twinery.org. And when I click on here, it takes me to this Padlet, and here I can see different versions. I would recommend using the online version. There's some information here when you start, but you can skip that, and then we're going to go straight into a story. So I'm going to click on Story, and I'm going to call this story The Storm. And here we can see the basic grid layout of a page. Now there's a few things you want to do to start with. Firstly, down here we're going to click on this little menu and we're going to choose Snap to Grid, and then we can drag this and pop it and it just snaps to the grid as we need it. Now Twine works by making pages that link to each other. So this will be our first page, so if we just click, we can either double click or we can just click onto here, and I'm going to call that The Storm. And inside here we can add some text, so I might just put here some test text. When I close this and then I play the adventure, you'll see it just says test text, nothing else happens. You'll also notice that whenever I run the adventure, it opens up here in a second tab. So I need to close that tab and go back to my editing tab. The other thing to realise is this will be stored in your browser window. If you want to keep the file, come down here and choose Publish to File, and it will pop down here and it will save the file name. And you need to do that regularly, otherwise you'll lose your work. You can play about with this and get a basic story, but I'd strongly recommend that you design your story before you get to this stage, as it can get quite complicated. So down here you can see I've done a basic Word document. This is the first paragraph of my story, and then these are the two choices the reader has. And if you choose this one, it goes to a page called Watch TV. If you choose this one, it goes to a page called Go to Bed. And then when you go to Watch TV, this is the text and the information that you get. If you click on Go to Bed, this is the information you get, and you get more choices, and so on. So I'm going to demonstrate what this looks like in the software. So the first thing I need to do is I need to copy and paste this information here, because I'm going to use this on my first page. So I'm going to go back to here, and remember I can double click it, I'll click on Edit, and I'm just going to delete that text, and I'm going to copy and paste in the text from my Word document. So this is the story. So there it is, it's a stormy October evening, and when I finish that, I'm just going to press an enter there, and I've got choice 1 or choice 2. Now I put choice 1 and choice 2 on my document so I could see it clearly, but in Twine itself we don't have to do that. So I'm going to delete that, and then I'm just going to put another enter in there, and I'm going to delete choice 2 there. So what should happen now is I should be able to read this text, and these should become hyperlinks to go to the next part. So let's just have a quick look. So when I click on play, I can see I've got the text, but they're not hyperlinked. And that's because I have to code that into the software. So if I go back to here and edit again, and to do that, the coding, I just have to use the square brackets. So on your keyboard, you'll find a bracket which looks like a square bracket. I just put 2 of those in, and at the end, I put another 2 brackets to finish. So the hyperlink I want to click on has to be between 2 brackets. Again, I'll do it there, and I'll do it here. Now, if I now close this, it will create 2 hyperlinks, but they're very, very big. So you can see one of them here, when I want to go to bed, that's going to be an alternate choice. This is the main story choice. But these links are too big, so I need to edit the links here. So I'm going to go into here, and instead of calling that all that link, I just want to call it Watch TV. Now to do that, I have to be very careful. So I'm just going to get rid of that little bracket there, and that little bracket there. And to make a link, I'm going to press the dash and then the greater than symbol. And what that does is it's now made a link. Instead of this being the whole link, it's just that one. I'll do the same again here. I'll get rid of the brackets because I just had those from my Word document, and in front of here I press the dash and the greater than. So now you'll see I've got a link that goes to a page called Watch TV and a link that goes to a page that says Go to Bed. Before that was the name of the page and it's too big, so I can just delete these. So Go to Bed's going to go up to here, and then Watch TV is going to go here. So if I just preview this now, I can see I've got my text and I've got the hyperlinks of choices, and when I click on these it will go to the page, but I haven't put any new text in that page yet. These two pages, if you check, are empty, so I need to do that next. I'm just going to do one more thing, and that's I'm going to give my story a title. So I'm just going to put The Storm there and a couple of enters, and now when I click on there and I play it, I can see it's called The Storm, then my text, and then my choices. So now I'm going to continue with my story. So I'm going to close this tab. I'm going to go back to the editor. You can see here as well I've put these in the wrong sequence. I actually want that to be the main part of the story, but that's not a problem because these can be dragged around. So if I go up here, what I need to know is what happens when I go to the Watch TV page. So I'm going to go back to my Word document, and I can see here I should get this information, and then it sends me to the Go to Bed page anyway, because I want to keep the story quite linear at the moment. So I've copied that. I'm going to click into here, paste that in, and remember I have to put the square brackets at the beginning and at the end. And then here I'm just going to get rid of these other brackets because they're from the Word document, and at the beginning here that needs to be the page that's going to go to bed, and remember to do that I put the dash and the greater than sign. You must make sure these are spelled exactly the same. If you put a capital in here and it's not a capital, it will go to a different page. Likewise, if you put a space in here, it might think there's a space. So I'm just going to close that now, and you can see it's recognized that page, so that now when I play, so now you can see if I decide to go to put the TV on and watch the news, it takes me to this page. I click on there, that takes me back to the other page, which is this one. So although I've had a choice, the story is bringing me back to the main story because that's what I want to do here. So now I've got to edit this. So I go back to the Word document again, and this time I've got another paragraph and another two choices. So I'm going to do what I did on the first page. Just double click on there. Again, that's the main text, so I need to put an enter in there, and then the square brackets for the first choice, and an enter, and then square brackets for the second choice. I remember the choice one, but you could leave that, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to delete that back. And then remember, these are massive names for pages, so that's the page name. So I'm just going to delete that little bracket there and that little bracket there, and put a dash and a greater than, and now that, if I click on there, will go to a page called Ignore the Sound. And likewise, if I do the same here, and a greater than sign, it should set up two more pages. So let's have a look. So it has done. So when I go to bed, I can either answer the door or I can ignore the sound. So now I'm going to play the whole story through, and I'm going to go to watch TV. It says no, the TV is not working. So I decide then that I'm in bed. You decide that it could be the door, but you're going to ignore it. No, I'm going to actually go to the door and open the door, and that will go to that page. So now I've got to give the text for these two pages. So you can see how this develops. So I'm very quickly just going to finish this off. So now I've completed my adventure game up to where I wanted to go. So if I look at the Word document, you can see all that text and that organisation has been copied and pasted, and I put it into here. So I'm just going to play my game now. Now when I click on here, it's a preview, and you'll notice down here it's just doing what we call a little bit of debugging. In case there's any mistakes, it'll try and give you the errors here. However, when I want to play it, I'm going to click down here and it doesn't show me that. So I've decided I'm going to go to bed and read a book. There's the banging at the door, I'm going to go down and actually see who it is. When I get down here and I can see it's my friend Giles, I've decided that I'm going to put him on the settee and go to sleep and not open the box. But that's telling me that I haven't been very adventurous, and now it's going to send me to the back again and I can start my story again. So if we look at what that looks like on the structure, this is where I got to then. Now can you see this arrow's going backwards, so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull that over here to make it a bit clearer so I haven't got these lines. So when I click onto the storm and I just choose the watch TV option, it takes me there, but that pushes me back to the story. When I go to bed and I choose the ignore the sound downstairs, it takes me to here but pushes me back to the main story. When I get to here, if I choose to go to sleep, it tells me I've not done the right answer and it sends me back, and then I can start again. Sometimes on these you might have branches that go off over here and over here and over here. When you get to this bit here, you can choose where to go next. So below this video you'll see the information page. I'll give you this file and then you can carry on if you'd like. So now I've finished, I'm going to go back down here and I'm going to publish my file again. And remember, this goes in the downloads. So if I just open that and go to show in folder, you can see here I've just emptied my downloads so you can see it clearly. That's the file. Now if I want to put that somewhere safe, I can just right click and copy that, and I can put it in a folder somewhere so someone can see that and I can share it with them. If you send that to someone and they double click it, it will open up the adventure. You can see you can just work through it from that link. So now you're ready to create your own adventures and share them with your friends. If you'd like to add images to your adventure, then watch the next video. Click here for the second tutorial video. Click here for other Takeaway Challenge videos. And click here to subscribe to our channel and all our video content.